Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube. I use spirit, my intuition, and the tarot to communicate energy frequencies to you guys, beautiful viewers. Today's reading, we will be taking a look at your current situation and how it will resolve. All right, so any situation you have going on right now, it might be a challenge, a struggle, and maybe you're wondering what you can do or what spirit is suggesting this situation will resolve itself. So let's take a look. We'll pull 3 cards here for your options. This is a pick a card, timeless reading. So for the first pick, ooh, the 1, 2, and 3 right here. So if you are feeling pulled energetically to any one of these 3, you can go ahead and select that in the timestamp will be in the description box and in the pinned comment below. I will flip these over for those of you guys needing a little bit more guidance to pick your card or your pile, and then we will get into your reading. So for pile number 1, this is your pick. We have the 9 of Swords. And this is the Inner Child cards, the Fairy Tale Tarot, in case you're wondering. Pick number 2, we have the Seeker of Crystals. So this is the equivalent of the Knight of Pentacles. And we have the 10 of Wands. All right, beautiful viewer. Take a look at these 3. Now, whichever card you're intuitively called towards, it's most likely going to have the message there for you. If you're called to more than one, then there could certainly be multiple messages in there for you. Use your intuition, what you're going to see, feel, or hear that can confirm to you that indeed this is your pile, and I will see you guys at your pick. Hello, my beautiful pile 1. You picked the 9 of Swords from the Inner Child cards, the Fairy Tale Tarot. Beautiful tarot deck. Now, this 9 of Swords is quite interesting. It is very reflective of the 8 of Swords. In fact, in this deck, this is talking about how we have limitations we place on ourselves that keeps us kind of held back from accepting different aspects of ourselves. And there's a dragon here, and the dragon can represent the aspects of ourselves that we might fear letting in. So I do feel as though this situation might be requiring you to put yourself outside of what you believe you're able to accomplish in some way. Or there could be some aspect of yourself that's hanging on to an old belief or something here that might be restricting you or limiting you from attaining what it is that you are really wanting in some way. So let's take a look, pile number 1, and see what your oracle cards are all about. We asked Spirit, when I pull these cards, to show us how is your current situation going to resolve, any sort of guidance Spirit wants to give to you, and for you to use your intuition so that you can feel, hear, or see something in this reading that will confirm to you that indeed this is your message from Spirit. All right, so let's take a look. I've not looked at these cards either. So we have the number 10, Seeking Healing Water. Okay. So 9, 10, something is definitely coming to an end here. Something is coming to an end. Beautiful pile 1. And I do feel as though you've been doing a lot of work on yourself, healing from situations that might have left you feeling like you needed to protect yourself or guarded in some way. Okay. We have surrender. I can release my need to control. All right. And we have depth lake with the number 31 or the number 4. Interesting enough, I'm getting 4 of Pentacles here. And this is all about letting go. We might be hanging on a little too tight to something out of a fear that if we let go, then we'll be in a worse off situation. And we see the lake here, and we see healing water, which I do feel is really talking about the depth of your emotion. So emotionally, I feel like you're really invested here in whatever the situation is, but there is an energy here of you fearing that if you were to loosen the grips or let go or allow something to change, that you might not have the control that you currently do or appear to have in a situation here, that you feel you would lose control in some way, which could be quite scary, I would imagine. All right, let's take a look. We have enchantment. It's a beautiful card. Enchantment. Okay, now let's take a look at these 48 laws of power and kind of take a look at maybe some clues here as to what's going on. So, law 13, when asking for help, appeal to the self-interests of others, never to their mercy or gratitude. Interesting. Law number 37, create compelling spectacles. Okay, I am going to pull some tarot. And I'm using the Angel Tarot cards here by Doreen Virtue. And we'll ask Spirit for clear and concise message here for beautiful pile 1 in regards to the current situation. How will this resolve itself? Some guidance, Spirit, clear and concise. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, pile number 1, for allowing me to tap into your beautiful energy, the energy around you at this time. All right, let's see what we have. So we have the 10 of Fire, which is the 10 of Wands. I do believe we had the 10 of Wands for pile number 3 coming out in the Fairy Tale Tarot. So could be connected somehow, only if you were drawn to that pile. Too much work, accept help from others. Life is out of balance. Stress-related health concerns. We have the 10 of Air, which is the 10 of Swords. The end of difficult situation. Embrace the change and expect things to get better now. Recovering from an addiction. We have the King of Earth. Generous, professional, responsible, and practical. A successful time. Confidently accept opportunities you're offered. The Midas touch. And we have the High Priestess. Archangel Haniel, listen to your intuition, have patience, consider carefully what you want before acting. And we have the Ace of Water, falling in love or the resurgence of a relationship, spiritual growth and enhanced intuition, a new home. All right, so I don't pay too much attention to the words at the bottom of these cards, pile 1, although your message is quite clear to me in regards to your situation. I feel like there is a lot of emotional investment in a situation here. And I feel like you're being called to do something that would require you letting go or stepping outside of your comfort zone. I feel like there's a fear here of maybe something reoccurring again that you've experienced in the past. But I feel like you're kind of feeling damned if you do and damned if you don't. So there is the guidance here from Spirit in regards to how this will resolve, is that this is actually coming to an end here. This this feeling of having to hang on very tightly and have to decide whether you should remain or move forward in some way, or do, yeah, like step out of your comfort zone or let go of something here. I feel like Spirit is sending a message here that there is nothing to fear when you let go, because I feel like there's actually nothing you're giving up or surrendering. There's certainly a, what's it called? A feeling of achievement, accomplishment, if you trust yourself to release and not feel controlled by fear or controlled by sort of a lack mindset. I think that would help. Although Spirit is saying there is no need here for you to surrender anything, and that this difficult period is coming to an end. One way or another, it's coming to an end here. And when it does, I think you're gonna just like breathe out a sigh of relief. Yes, and I feel like what Spirit is saying is that there is a way for you to create an experience for yourself that might be different than what you're used to, at your own sort of pace here. And I think that is more suited to allow you the growth that you need in this situation. And that's coming. So right now you might feel like you're between a rock and a hard place, kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't, like you're pressured to decide in some way. But you just seem to be not able to move forward. And whatever that energy is, I feel is coming to an end. Although you will be, again, tasked with allowing yourself to venture out of whatever sort of belief here that has you held back. Yeah, I feel like right now you feel like maybe other people, or in this situation, like other people might have control of a situation, or they call the shots, or yeah, like they're kind of putting you in a situation where it's either this or that, or you have to do something that leaves you feeling uncomfortable, out of your comfort zone, like I said. And I feel like this is changing quite quickly, that you will be the one calling the shots and the pace of however this situation is unfolding. And there is something here about this situation, maybe you reading into it very deeply. And I don't think that other people involved or the situation is quite as serious as maybe you're believing this decision to be. All right. I feel like you have a lot riding on this decision, or invested in whether you go this way or that way, or that there's lots riding on this. But I feel like this is actually not a heavy decision, overall, if you were to like span out 10,000 feet view of the situation. And I think that once this is over, then it's kind of like you can actually take a look at this from a different perspective and feel a sense of relief here. But you are going to be called to kind of inch your way forward, because I don't think this situation itself disappears. I think just the tension and the feeling you have that you are put in this situation where you have to do something that you're not really wanting to do or prepared to do or ready to do. Yes. And I'm almost getting like to bide time here. There is different things I think that you're able to bring forward as distractions in this situation that will bide you time. I don't know what this is about. Let's pull some more cards and see how the situation will resolve itself. We'll ask Spirit for a bit more here for pile 1. Spirit, for pile 1, can we get a little bit more in regards to the current situation and how this will resolve itself? Can we get more information? Thank you. All right. Well, we got quite a bit. All right. We have the Queen of Fire, which is the Queen of Wands. We have Balance, which is Temperance. We have the Seven of Wands, or yes, Seven of Wands. We have the Three of Pentacles. We have the Page of Swords. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Three of Swords. And then we have the Chariot. So beautiful pile 1. You will certainly be victorious in this situation here. Things are moving forward for you. All right. And I think that the energy will certainly balance itself out, and you will be in a position to get what it is that you want. Here with the Seven of Fire, this is where we might feel like we are losing, but we have the higher ground to fight for what it is that we want. And I feel like there is no real big need to fight. It's almost like you feel like you're on the defensive here. So Spirit is saying to more look within and ask yourself questions. Ask yourself maybe where you are held back, because it's more of an internal thing. Why do you feel if you were to move forward or surrender some sort of control, why this would put you out or put you in a position you don't want to be in? Because I feel like there is a situation where you can move forward, and I feel there are others willing to work with you and create here something quite solid, and that you are in a position to be successful with this. But I feel like there is some pain that you experienced maybe in a similar situation, or that you just carry within yourself to not want to take a chance or not want to explore. Or yeah, I feel like you've been thrown in the deep end here. So this situation is passing very quickly here, and I do feel like you will be in higher ground here, gaining what it is that you want. And I feel like this situation now brings to you an understanding of something that I think you'll be able to gain a better perspective of yourself and how you've handled this. I feel like almost like this is a test by the universe, or a trial by the universe, but almost one to allow you to see yourself and how you react and what you do. But I don't feel like this is the real deal. So there could certainly be a situation coming in. I don't see it in the cards, more intuitively, where there's a need to resolve and look at this so that you are free from any limitations, so that you can feel secure enough to step forward without feeling like you're drowning or like you're breaking away into something that makes you feel very uncomfortable. Yeah, I think this situation is going to pass lightly. I don't think it's as heavy as it may feel right now. And it probably feels heavy because maybe you've experienced, like I said, something similar that's bringing back like some sort of trigger response or some like PTSD type energy that just kind of happens based on an experience you had that might have left you feeling closed or, yeah, protected, guarded is what I wanted to say. So you will be free of this, and I feel you will find peace, but you are encouraged here to dig in deep with asking yourself for truths here. And if building something greater than what it is that you might be hanging on to is important to you, because I feel like there is something bigger and more secure and more long-standing here that you can do for yourself, but you have to kind of start somewhere. And I think this was a start. All right, pile 1, this was an interesting reading. If this resonated, let me know, and I will see you soon. Hello, beautiful. Pile number 2, you picked the Seeker of Crystals, equivalent to the Knight of Pentacles. Although in this Fairy Tale Tarot, which is the inner child cards, this is the lion from the Wizard of Oz here, who had to find his courage. And at the beginning of the Wizard of Oz, the lion used a lot of tactics to kind of come out and scare Dorothy, and by the end the lion had to learn to defend and be courageous for his peers. So there was big lessons here in how to find how to handle a situation. And I feel like the main message I'm pulling away here is, do you face this with brute strength and courage, or do you handle this softly and tactfully and not allow any sort of fear or any sort of situations that might make you feel like lashing out or reactionary, if you can remain courageous and calm to deal with a situation that you might feel like you need to react to in some way here. Something very spiritual I'm feeling about this as well. Let's take a look, pile number 2, and see what we have. So I pre-shuffled these oracle cards. I've not looked at them. Asked Spirit to communicate to you in regards to your current situation. What will be the resolve? How will this come about? How will you guys get through this current situation, and to provide guidance here? So please use your intuition to see, feel, or hear anything that will help confirm to you that this is indeed your message. Pile number 2. All right, we have number 8, welcoming the help of others. Okay. Are we trying to do something alone? Purpose. I know what I am here to do. There's that spiritual side. And growth. Plants with number 19 or the number 10. Growth plants. And we have transmutation. Let's cover that up for YouTube. Transmutation. We have lot number 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. Interesting. And we have law number 29. Plan all the way to the end. Let's pull your tarot, pile number 2. Spirit, clear and concise message for beautiful pile number 2 in regards to their current situation. And how will this resolve? Clear and concise message, guidance for pile 2. We have the 9 of Earth, which is the 9 of Pentacles. We have the Page of Earth, the Page of Pentacles. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. And we also have the 4 of Water, which is the 4 of Cups. I'm pulling one more. The King of Air, which is the King of Swords. Pile 2, you are very strong, aren't you? And very independent. And I feel there is this situation in which you're trying to get through it on your own. Yes, I feel like you have adapted some sort of belief that if you were to pull through it by yourself or accomplish something by yourself, that it would mean more, or that that's the way it should be. But it is clear here that in order to get through here, that there is a recognition that yes, you are independent and successful to be able to accomplish something, but sometimes we're put in situations where we have to allow kind of nature to take its course. And that could include allowing other people to express themselves, do what they do, engage how they engage, and not take this as something that might impede on our own sort of growth or our own sort of journey. And we can take whatever energy we're working with here and allow ourselves to still move forward and still contribute to whatever this is. It's not an energy here of all or nothing. I feel like there's a lot here that you're able to contribute to a situation. And I don't know if maybe you're feeling like your environment is not quite right, or the people don't feel right, or the energy just doesn't feel... Yeah, I feel like there's something about your environment, the people, the energy around you that just is motivating you to exclude people and just focus on yourself and kind of steamroll forward and rely on yourself and do whatever it is that you're focused on doing here, the situation at hand, which you'd know about, because I feel like you've been maybe at it for some time. There's something here you're trying to get off the ground or be accomplished at here. And I feel like you could, but I think what Spirit is saying is there's a more intelligent way here that you can go about it, despite how your environment might be making you feel a little bit, I don't know, like you're just feeling out of sorts, or like you can't really cooperate with your environment, or you just don't feel like you want to engage. There's a need to change the energy in a way that allows you to, yeah, like transmute this energy and change whatever this blah energy is, and how other people kind of are involved, and use this with them to work towards planting something here, or growing something, or this opportunity that you're trying to make happen. rather than avoiding or pretending these people don't exist or just ignoring them. Because I feel like there's a lot of value that I think you're maybe not seeing in the help that's being offered, because I think you might be focused on the more annoying parts. And maybe you're hyper independent and maybe you want to go slow or fast or control the speed. And you kind of want to just do it solo. But I think that what Spirit is saying is the more intelligent way and the best way for this to roll out properly is to engage with the others involved and work with your environment and your situation. Because if there's not people, then it's certainly your environment to make this happen. It's like you're neglecting a big piece of what is there to work with, who's around to work with. And it could be that you're just really gung-ho or gun-set, set on your target, your focus, and wanting to accomplish this, but there's a need to integrate your environment and the people around you, no matter how you might feel like maybe it would be better on your own. Spirit is definitely saying that it is not the optimal way to go about this. That there's something about in the situation with either these people or this environment here that is going to be a lot more abundant if you work with as best you can with making do and involving every aspect of these people in your environment. That's quite clear, the message. And yeah, you don't have to be bullied or controlled or do anything you don't want to do if that's your fear. I don't think it is. I think you still have control and autonomy to guide things, but I feel like you're cutting off help, and this is only restricting you, limiting you. It doesn't really serve for your best interest or other people, but mostly for your own best interest here and being accomplished. And for some of you guys, what the situation is, it might only require a small bit of either the beginning or the middle of engaging with someone or needing them for a resource or for some part. But there's a caution here to not only take and go or use people for what you need them for, like if you absolutely need them, and then shut them out. Because I think there's going to be multiple times in this situation where the resources and the help of other people that you might feel you don't need or don't want to rely on or just haven't been open to is going to be a blessing here for you. All right, let me see. Maybe you're on bad terms with some of these people, but you're still around. So maybe there's something that you're trying to prove. You could do it on your own, but I feel like the outcome here is what matters. And there's a beautiful outcome here in allowing yourself to let go of a mindset. Maybe that is more of a I'll show you type mindset or an independent mindset. Let's ask Spirit for a bit more to help me communicate to you what exactly this energy is. Spirit, can we get more information here? Clear and concise message for pile number 2. All right. So we have the wheel. That's the Wheel of Fortune. We have the Two of Water. That's the Two of Cups. We have Release. That is the Death card. We have the Six of Wands. And we have the Page of Wands. Yes, pile 2, you're absolutely going to be successful here. There's a victory. And I do feel like you're going to be acknowledged as victorious here, as an independent winner of whatever the situation is, conquering the situation and getting the recognition you deserve here. So I don't know if there's a fear in feeling like if you were to allow others, then maybe the victory would elude you, or that you wouldn't be recognized. But Spirit's saying you are certainly going to be victorious here, and people will acknowledge you as being victorious in a situation that you were able to dive in and figure things out. I think if you are feeling stuck, if you're feeling like things aren't flowing and you're swimming upstream, it would be because you're not allowing yourself to work with others in your environment here in a balanced way, and also to offer your own sort of guidance to others and be open to allowing yourself to pour into a situation so that it could come back to you. There's really a need for, however you are trying to make this work on your own, for you to let go of that mindset and really allow this situation to completely transform. And I think this happens quite rapidly. And I think you actually become very excited again, because I feel like maybe you're getting really bored. Maybe you're hitting obstacles and you're still trying to prove something, and maybe it would, you think it would have meant something had you accomplished it in the way that you wanted, or alone in some way. But yeah, there's at least one other person that you can loop into this. And if there is no other people, then there's certainly an environment here that you're allowed to blend with energetically, so that you can be open to the circumstance and the situation in a way that allows things to flow. Because I feel like you're kind of the plug in allowing this to start working. Okay, so definitely success. And yeah, this is what I see for you guys. I hope this made sense to you guys. Interesting message, pile 2. I will see you soon. Hello, beautiful pile 3. You guys picked the 10 of Wands with the beautiful fairy here. This is the Inner Child cards, the Fairy Tale Tarot. Absolutely love this deck, and it's beautiful. In this card, this is like preparing oneself here for a higher level of consciousness. I feel there's been a lot of transformation. Here, many different experiences and victories. So, are we at the final stretch here? Potentially. All right, let's take a look. I feel there's a lot of magic here. Pile number 3. So, I asked spirits for the situation, current situation that you will be dealing with here, and how will it resolve itself. So Spirit will provide some guidance here, and please use your intuition to feel, see, or hear something that will confirm to you that this is indeed your pile. Pile number 3. Ooh, 3. Realizing empathy as evolution or revolution. Ooh, very spiritual. Having to walk the higher ground here. Indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. Yes. Growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. Exactly what I was feeling here. Okay, this is very cool. Speaking your word, voice, 25, or the number 7. Speaking your word, voice. The gateway. Beautiful. I have not seen this card. The gateway. Let's move these down. And we have law number 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. Interesting. Law number 32. Play into people's fantasies. All right. Let us ask Spirit to provide a bit more guidance here from the Angel Tarot deck. Spirit, clear and concise for pile number 3. How will their current situation resolve itself? How will pile number 3's situation resolve? A little more guidance. We have the Knight of Swords. We have the King of Pentacles. We have the Empress, and we have the Ten of Pentacles. Wow, King of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, the Empress, the Knight of Swords. Okay, pile 3. I feel like you're dealing with people potentially that might not be as in tune with their intuition, their spirituality, their higher self, maybe not as conscious, aware, ascended as potentially you. And this poses issues because I feel like you might feel torn between what it is maybe that you feel you would generally, typically handle a situation for the greatest, highest good, or how much of yourself do you sacrifice or compromise or allow to play into or spend time with energies that might not be as evolved as you. And that's a hard one. Because I feel like you might feel held back. And I'm getting gateway from both of these. And it's funny that they're bookending. Because I feel like there might be times where you feel like just abandoning and moving forward. And sometimes you feel like, are you playing too small? And then sometimes you feel like maybe there is a need to kind of compromise in a way for people who might not be as experienced or evolved or conscious as you in order to work with them or play in a situation, circumstance. But you feel like maybe you're burning time or held back, or you have to kind of keep going back and readjusting and realigning. So first things first, Spirit is acknowledging how amazing you're doing in the decisions that you have been doing this so far. Spirit wants you to continue to speak your truth no matter how evolved you may feel like it is compared to maybe a situation in which you might be dealing with. There's no need to dim your light or play small. But there is recognition here that you do compromise in areas where you are seeing growth in other people and in a situation. So if you feel like the situation is slowly changing, improving, to allow yourself to engage, as long as you're not having to sacrifice any piece of yourself. And if you know of a higher truth, it's okay to hang on to it as your truth. That it doesn't mean that everyone or everything or this situation needs to be understanding it the way you understand it, or at the level of understanding. And it is okay if you have to part periodically, or even if you feel like you've had enough and you have to abandon whatever the situation is here. Spirit says you're okay either which way, that the decision is up to you, and that by using your intuition in every kind of step of the way, as this progresses, as long as there's forward movement and you're okay with the pace, then that's all kind of that really matters. There is a final sort of structure or stability or some longer term gain I feel you're trying to attain. And that's where you've kind of been focused. But there's also an energy of identifying that the fun sometimes is in the journey and how we get there. Because I feel like you are headed there, to the long-term, more secure sort of place. I feel like this is kind of your goal. You want to get to message coming through as well, that you can't bring everybody with you. And sometimes if you're the only one that gets there, sometimes people catch up once they understand, because everyone learns at their own level of awareness and consciousness. But to continue speaking your truth and communicating if you feel something doesn't feel right or off, but being aware that not everyone is going to be kind of in the mindset that you are. So I feel it's kind of like this push-pull. How much are you held back, or how much do you compromise? How much do you sort of invest or wait in the situation? I do feel like what we were initially picking up with all these butterflies, I think you've had time and time again experienced different aspects of yourself that have grown in this situation, in this circumstance. Had you not waited or compromised in some way, but you might be growing a little impatient, or you might not be certain if you're doing the right thing, because now that you have a lot of experience under your belt and a lot of awareness of yourself, I think there might be a greater divide between you and other people in the situation and the circumstance that you're inquiring about. So there is no real wrong thing you can do as long as you're being true to yourself and you're not selling yourself short or dimming your own light. And it is okay for you to pause and to show empathy, and for you to show acceptance with people who might be experiencing life in a different way, that might not be going in the same direction maybe as you're kind of trying to get to. I feel there's a heavy unconditional love coming from this pile And when we have unconditional love, there's a need to trust that we will get to where we need to go and that things will work out as long as we stay true to our conviction, to our truth. Yes. And I don't know, because I feel like there's this indecision, like I talked about. And then I feel like sometimes you want to just kind of rush forward and remove yourself from the situation. And I think you're learning a lot about yourself. I want to pull some more tarot to get some advice here on how you can sort of balance this energy. I think definitely communicating more of a truth, your truth here, is going to allow things to grow in this situation. But then we have playing to people's fantasies, which I really feel is allowing ourselves to compromise, although we might feel like it's appeasing someone else in a way that, you know, if it does help to progress the situation and doesn't put us back and doesn't go against our value, then it's part of the journey. But let's ask Spirit for some more clear and concise guidance here for beautiful pile 3. Spirit, thank you so much. And thank you so much, pile 3, for allowing me to tap into your beautiful energy and the energy around you at this time. Can we get clear guidance here for pile 3 in regards to this current situation? Feeling this one. Okay, we have the 2 of Cups. Okay, it says a relationship that continues to grow closer, forgiveness, the positive resolution of a conflict. The 3 of Fire, which is the 3 of Wands. Life experience, 16, this is the Tower. And then we have the 9 of Pentacles. I do feel one more. The King of Fire, which is the King of Wands. Yeah, I did feel this was either a connection or relationship of sorts, or working with somebody else that might not be kind of playing by your pace or your way or your understanding. I feel like you have a higher level of awareness and consciousness, and you've evolved into someone that might have made there a distance between you and maybe somebody who maybe you were on an equal playing field with at one point, or maybe just in a situation it's becoming blatantly obvious. And I feel like all the situations, circumstances that you've experienced as of late have maybe progressed this or made it more apparent. There is a need for you to understand that Spirit does see all the work that you've put into laying the foundation of being successful, of getting to where you need to go. That's already done. And this is why it doesn't really matter if you abandon ship. You don't need to explain this to anybody. And if you want to experience sort of a slower pace here, or just experience, like it says here, playing into other people's fantasies, something maybe that doesn't set you back, but you might begin to understand or learn about this situation, this circumstance, this person a little differently. That I feel like you'd be surprised here at how this could evolve this situation, and also how quickly this person or these people or the situation could all of a sudden turn. based on just being connected with your energy, because you may feel as though you waiting or not moving forward or being just kind of there might not be doing anything, but I feel like it is energetically feeding the groundwork of a situation, of a relationship. Now, I think a lot of you guys might want to just move forward and free yourself from something that feels like it's been holding you back, and you have not been able to do that as of yet. And Spirit is saying that it is okay for you to be honest with this desire, this need to recognize you've outgrown your current situation and you can't bring everyone with you, especially when it's become apparent that your evolution has changed. And if you feel like you have to dim your light or sacrifice or compromise piece of yourself, then it's time to move forward, and that you will be successful, and that you have to be more focused on what it is that you want, your success here. So if you are compromising or allowing yourself to empathize and enjoy the journey and spend time with others that might not be as evolved, then do so out of a want to understand from an unconditional perspective, to gain no outcome. And that you would be surprised at how energetically things shift, how people can experience change based on being in contact with your energy, but do not do so out of a desire to impact a situation where you try to pull people towards maybe a greater version of them that you feel should be them or could be them, or an outcome that you can have with someone or out of a situation where other people are involved, because you can't really control that. Okay, so this is what I see. Pile number 3. I hope this helped you. You are definitely in a position of power and success. You're definitely able to stand on your own, independent and strong. And maybe just facing that sort of detachment might liberate you. Being able to communicate something that you might have been challenged to in the past. But do not dim your light, and do not keep yourself silenced. All right, there's still growth to be had here, I feel, although we do talk about you ascending and your consciousness, there is still growth. And I feel this growth is going to happen when you recognize the situation you're in here and how much power you actually have. You don't have to sit idle. You don't have to wait on other people to decide for you, or for them to decide before you can decide. The power is in your hands. And if people want to catch up, then they catch up. If they're able to, they will. But this is not anything that you're able to control. And also not to feel like you are doing anything wrong by showing empathy and allowing others to be themselves. And to energetically share with other people's mindsets here. As long as you don't feel you're compromising yourself or making yourself dim your own light. All right, pile 3, this is what I have. I love you very much. Let me know if this resonated. I will see you soon. Bye.